I'm in the sun.
Yeah, hit it. Yeah.
Greetings, family. My Instagram family, my Facebook family, my YouTube family. Welcome. Welcome my Usha family. You know, I mean, we love being here. We got this little spot where the breeze is nice. I love this. I like this better than down there for real. Because it's a constant breeze, man. I love it. It just kisses my neck.
It's elevated.
It's
I like
elevated.
it too.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, let's get to it. Today, this chapter of the book is going to be called Woman. And couldn't be no more appropriate that Aja, my wife, is sitting here with me on this one. Can you see her clear in the camera? So, y'all got somebody to back y'all up because I'm putting the light into y'all real good today. I'm laughing, but I'm serious. And I say that because what is it that we consider womanhood? What is that? What does that look like to us? You know, women are the foundation of everything here on this planet. They're the ones that bring life to this planet. They're the ones that nurture and care for everything. So then, when I say woman, this chapter is about woman. It's about woman in the sense that, yes, every woman comes here that has a vagina. She's a female. She represents the female species, but what is it to be a woman? To be that which the earth uses to nurture, to care for, and to create. Because when we look outside of ourselves and we look at the animal kingdom, we see what animal feminine energy is all about. Producing, protecting their young, teaching them how to do what they need to do so that they can go on and continue doing whatever it is that particular species does. And doing all that, they learn just from their mothers just how they teach their young what to do. That's what happened to us. We learn from our mothers to teach us how to learn what to do. But if the mothers don't know what to do, how are they going to teach us what to do? How? When we got, especially in this younger generation, people can call me old-fashioned, old school. You can call it what you want. But what I'm saying is that for a woman to represent womanhood, man, she need to be teaching. That's one thing that men learn from women is how to care, how to nurture. Because that's not what we men come here to protect, to hunt, to gather. We here to do the things that men do, build, make things together beautiful. Because with both energies, things can work beautifully. But when you have a generations of women who are taught nothing about womanhood, about what it is to be a woman of power, not just saying, oh yeah, I know I'm all woman. What is being all woman? Because my whole pursuit is the perfection of my spirit, which manifested itself as a masculine energy. So what is masculine energy? What do masculine energy do? It protects, it provides, it builds, it upholds, it encourages. So, in the same breath, the woman. Women are taught now, hey, you got to have a big butt, so let me go get butt injections. You got to have big lips, let me go get my lips injected. You got to have big boobs, let me go get my boobs injected. But when after all that is done, what are you left with? You still left with you, with a bigger butt, bigger tits, bigger lips, but it's still you. And what do you gain from it? If that's what women do to seek a man, then what are you teaching men? This is what you're supposed to pursue? This is what it means to be beautiful? You got something to say? What's going on? Asan is back, our camera lady. So I'm just letting y'all know she's behind the camera now. And she was sitting here making faces. I just was wondering, but she was wanting Aja to scoot over.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, I'm gonna let Aja speak too because she can speak from a point of view of a woman. But what I'm saying is that the knowledge that's disseminated amongst women in general, not just black women. I watch Asian women who come to America. I watch Indian women who come to America, and they all become Americanized. What is that? Americanization means only one thing, that you do everything other than what it is to represent womanhood. You do, you know, you like going shopping, talk shit. I mean, I, for one, can say I've experienced enough relationships in my life to have seen the repetitive behavior that not only women do, but men do. Why? Out of a teaching that we've been taught that is not beneficial to us. Yet, when I look at my mother, the knowledge that I have didn't come from my mother. I share knowledge with my mother. Why? Because she wasn't given the same knowledge that I was given. I don't condemn her for it. But when it comes to a woman being able to represent what womanhood really represents, and my mother is sharp. I take nothing from her. She's didn't get education, but she's sharp. She's aware. That's what we all about. Going to school don't make you a superwoman. Having a degree don't make you no special woman. What makes you a special woman is your ability to seek out and embrace what womanhood really represents. If you're going to seek anything, why not that? I mean, I've heard many of women talk about all kind of stupidness. Oh, I heard that Drake was with this woman. I heard this one was that. It's always something that's not beneficial to yourself nor the whole. It's just information that's empty. When it's information out there that you could gather that could give you power, I have seen. It's not something I'm just talking about. I have seen the product of what it looks like when a woman is seeking womanhood. I lived with 3 women, and I asked them, what are you guys really about? You know, they told me, and these are the only 3 women that ever said that to me, and they was considered themselves to be dreamers. And we're not going to even get into that because we're just talking about the basics about women. They said, we are in the pursuit of the perfection of womanhood. I had never heard a woman tell me that shit. We are in pursuit of the perfection of womanhood? Now let me tell you what the experience was like. I would go for long walks. When I came in, one of them would come take my shoes off, start massaging my feet. The other one would go in there and make tea. Another one would go in there and roll me a joint. And I'm like, what is this? This is what they was about. They was about care. They was about nurturing. They was about giving. And seeing that told me a lot about the idea of womanhood. Yet they went out and worked. And when I said, hey, I can make more money than all 3 of y'all, all I have to do is just go out and get a job. It was like, I never forget what they asked me. All 3 of them was standing around and they looked at me and they said, are you hungry? I said, no, I'm not hungry. They said, do you need money? I said, no, I don't need no money. They said, do you need a roof over your head? I said, no. They said, well, then why do you need to talk like that? They corrected me. When I thought in my understanding that I can help by going out and getting a job, and they wouldn't have to do all that. That was not what they was about. So now we got to go back. What is womanhood all about? What is the perfection of womanhood? I would have to say first and foremost is to get back in touch with your spirit, to get back in touch with your inner self. Because looking outside of ourselves ain't never brought us nothing but misery. Nothing but misery. But when you start going inside, all the knowledge that you need There's a term that I know is factual. I don't care where it comes from or where it's written. It says, he that seeketh findeth. So when you seeking after something, it's going to manifest itself to you. So now, here again, I ask, what are we seeking? As you guys, as women, what are you seeking? Are you seeking to have Gucci bags and Fendi and all this ignorant stuff? Because women are in competition with one another. I've been with women. I watch how they could dissect another woman just like that, just like they dissect men. Them are knockoffs. That person's a knockoff. They can recognize it just like that. But how come we don't recognize the spirit just like that? If we would put that same energy into recognizing how the spirit move around us, oh, we would be, look, glorious. Not only would the woman be glorious, but everything around her becomes glorious. Why? Because she's operating on a higher level. Why would you not want that? Why would you accept anything less than that of expect anything less of that from yourself? You didn't come here to be a model. So why you need all these Gucci bags and all that? These doggone designers could give a care less about how you feel or what you think. Yet we find it so important to have these things, especially as we climb in what you call the financial ladder. Oh, I can't have no cheap shit. But the shit that you consider to be worth something ain't worth nothing either. We just saw what happened in Fort Lauderdale where them folks got flooded out of all them things that they felt was valuable. Don't mean shit no more. It's washed out, soggy, without meaning. Stuff that they felt was precious, gone. Tornadoes, it do a whole nother thing. It reduces everything to rubble to let everybody know, look, all that shit you thought was important, there it is. Go dig and find the shit you're looking for. It'd be everywhere. What is that saying to us? That the things that we count as important is not important at all, because the things that really matters is the things that we do for ourselves. And for me, I find no greater pleasure than to find a woman who can teach me what it is to really embrace the feminine side of myself so that I can complete myself. Just like a woman seeks to find within a man the masculine side, the masculinity of that man to complete herself, because we're both. My manifestation is male. My unmanifested self is female. So then, in order for me to make myself whole, I have to understand the female side just like I understand the masculine side. Yet, I know we are here to understand the difference. And that's what your wife or your mate or your girl represent. So then, if that's what women really represent, why do we treat them other than what they really represent? Because they don't want to represent that in themselves. When you don't want to represent something in yourself and you want somebody to respect you and represent you for something that you're not, then you delusional. That's delusionment. Why? Because we think that the external things is what makes us who we are, and it's not. And women, I'm pleading with you, because we have a generation of youngsters that's coming up that are reckless. Why? Because all they saw in the house was disorder, confusion, neglect. Why? Because mothers are more concerned about how they look when they get ready to go out to the club to go catch some nigga that ain't gonna do shit for them. And Mama, could you watch the kids? Or they got a uncle or a brother who they can leave with the kids with because he got a wife and that. But what is it to really express womanhood? In the society that we live in, we consider sometimes to be who we are to be a sacrifice. How is it sacrificial for you to be who you are? Why is that a sacrifice? When it's all right to be something that they told you are that you're not. That's no sacrifice. I think that is a big ass sacrifice, because you're sacrificing yourself again up on that cross. Because who you are could care less about how big your butt is, how big your titties are, how big your lips are, how much hair you got hanging off your head. That is the least thing that women should be worried about. What we should be worried about is our heart. our mind, our expression, being connected again with who we are. We got women so confused that they think that they men. And vice versa, men who think they women. Where that come from? It don't come from creation. That comes from our own demented, distorted minds. We have to stop and reconsider. Go ahead, babe. You got something to say?
Oh. I got something to say.
She gonna talk to y'all.
I
didn't feel her up.
I was thinking I needed a notepad and a pen because I was like, I'm taking mental notes of what he said. All right, so let me just say, ladies, and I like a bunch of scriptures kept coming into my mind. Like I was born and raised in the church, converted to the Nation of Islam, spent 15 years there, and now I consider myself or feel like, I have a wealth of experience and understanding from both. And then I study,
And she a master gardener.
More.
She loves planting. So, that keeps her attached to life.
Oh, we 10 toes down. We in the ground. We, getting the vibration from the earth. We, working with what we have, as much as possible. So I just wanted to say one of the first scriptures I thought of was, ye are all gods, children of the Most High God. Male or female, even in our ignorance, even while we, displaying something other than being a god. Then I segued into, he was like, he would go on long walks and he would come in and they would rub his feet and da-da-da-da-da-da. Wow. What a wonderful expression from a woman to a man. So that's what felt good to him. And that's probably what feels good to most men, right? Yeah, I want to be catered to.
Cared for.
And I don't know a woman who wouldn't say the same exact thing. And maybe that care doesn't look exactly the same. Maybe it doesn't, but I really don't know too many women who don't want a foot rub when they walk in the house from working. You said they were working. Right. They were working, but they still had time to see about you.
Good.
What woman doesn't want that? And I'm saying, and I know there's the feminine expression. I was just speaking with him about it earlier when I asked him what he was going to speak about my time in the nation and how important the woman is to the work in the Nation of Islam. But that importance is worldwide, is universal. We are the bearers of life, our thoughts, our energy, where we are when we're about to conceive, like when we are marinating life in our womb, where we are in our circumstances, all matters. And that's why when we have children, and they're so different because the times were different that they were conceived in. How we feel at the time they were conceived is different. He matters. And it is a yin and a yang. But we are the bearers of life.
And I'm glad you said that, because then when we look around and see what's going on, whose responsibility is it to make it really different, a change? Women.
It is.
And when I look at what women are doing, it ain't no change going on.
But wait a minute.
I see them changing their physical
But that's
appearance.
what I'm getting to, sweetheart. That's what That's what I'm getting to, because I'm saying it is a yin and a yang. While I was trying to, because I almost felt like, and I don't want to defend us in our ignorance, and I don't want to, clap our hands in our stupidity, but I do want to say that we are working with, and the women, the sisters have been working with the information that they had, and like you said, the information that was passed down, and information is much more widely accessible now. But when we was young, if your mama beat your ass, we beat your ass. That's just how it was. We passed down what our mama fed us. We fed our children. We didn't know, like, we didn't think that mama was trying to poison us or our children. This is what they knew, right? So with wisdom, with time, information, and then people can apply it, and then, you know, then we can see that moms aren't as ignorant. Well, I would venture to say that there are more moms feeding their children healthy meals than there are not. I'm talking about across the board. I'm not giving a color.
I agree.
I'm talking about across the board.
I agree with that.
Because information is present. When you know better, a lot of times we try to do better. We at least know when you know you're responsible for that information. So I want to say to all of the sisters, because in spite of us having to carry a load that we didn't ask for, in spite of the fact that our man has been asleep, not you, babe, but our man has been asleep for hundreds of years. Despite all of the things that we've had to overcome, saying, yet, here we are. And I say, yes, there's some sisters out there who may not understand it yet, but they will. They'll understand it when they have children and they're trying to defer them from things that they're involved in. And even if they don't, then some of us fall by the wayside. But there are more of us who are good women and good parents, and that's what we try to extend to our children, our ignorance. We'll give them religion. Hey, you should cover up and whatever it is you subscribe to in our ignorance, but it's what we think is best for them. So I just want to say, like, hey, to all the sisters out there, because I'm one of them who, in spite of all of the adversity, have been able to raise children who know better, and children who are just going to work through this world as they should. Ignorance is going to be present. I was just like, well, I'm about to box him with all of that stuff he's saying about us. And yes, we are asleep on our job, but it's because of the yin and yang. Where's our man?
I said that
Where's
because
our man?
The women said you guys are the most powerful, which is true. I accept that totally.
Right.
You guys are the nurturers. You guys are the ones that show care. So then, and all that, you guys are the ones that really are supposed to, well, not supposed to, are the caretakers of this earth, the healers of this earth.
Yeah.
I don't see it. That's
So,
all I'm saying. I don't care what excuse it is they have for not doing it. I don't see it.
No, there's no excuse. But just like they talk about the dry bones in the valley in the scripture, they're not really dead, but they acting dead. It's a metaphor for the deadness of the mind. That not only is it because if the man was on his job, the women wouldn't be so asleep. If the sister was on her job, the men, the vice versa. I don't know if I, vice versa. Ain't nobody on their job.
Hey, I'm gonna say this because I'm a brother. I've been with plenty of sisters, and I love them. But when I tell you, when it comes to perfecting their inner self, whenever I'm talking to them, they go to sleep. Like, I don't want to hear that.
It's
but let me put on romance or something.
Slow song and some candles.
Hey, look! All of a sudden,
they open.
Oh, look! Oh, baby, that's nice. Oh, that's so lovely of you. Thank you, baby. I love it.
But then you come and give them the information in the way they best can receive it.
No, that information is given. When the information is given, I can't dictate when the Spirit is going to speak out of my mouth. I don't have that ability. And nor am I going to suppress what the Spirit wants me to say. When the time comes for it to be said, I'm going to say it. Why? Because I know the Spirit wants me to speak it at that time. That's the only reason I'm talking about this chapter on women right now. Because it's the woman that's going to have to make the changes that's necessary for us to elevate ourselves. Because as long as a man trying to elevate himself and he got a woman who's not, he ain't doing no real elevation, because it's going to always be this. Why? Because they're not connected. Like our marriage was about one thing. Universal power. It was union of universal power. A union. Why? Because masculine energy represent one part of the power, and feminine energy represent the other part of the power. And when those two come together, that's where power is created. In that unity, in that combining, in that knowing. But when we have all this disjointedness, where we allow everything outside of ourselves to be what's most important to us, and the things that's inside of us that need to be dealt with, we don't deal with it. And that's why I brought that example up as to these three women. Now, it's not one woman, it's three of them. So, yes, they're able to do a lot more than one woman can do. But the thing that I'm trying to convey is their pursuit was different. Because I've been with women, when we go into the wing, went shopping, we need to go to the mall, I need to go do this, I need to go get my hair done, I need to go get my nails done, I need to go get my toes done. But when do you need to get your spirit done? When do that count for anything? Do we take time to say, hey, I'm going to take this time for me to be with me and to get to know me better? Because most women don't know themselves. They think they do. And that self that they think they are, they ain't even that.
Can I ask a question?
You go right ahead.
So while we understand that the work is with the woman and the implementation is with the woman, and I'm about to be old school, but the man leads. So when the man wait a minute, wait. But when the man is off, when the man ain't got to, women are really helpers to the man. And I'm not trying to, because men normally hold the vision and the woman brings it into fruition. That's who we are.
I accept that.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
So if you, wait a minute, whoa. So if 98% of the women are with a man with no vision, what am I here to help you fulfill? So I'm sitting by your side in your foolishness.
Again.
Because you a wandering fool.
Hey, again, who's that? Why is that? Because the woman who raised them was what? A wandering fool. Because he wouldn't be that if the woman was teaching him not to be that.
No, it's the man and the woman that teach him that.
Babe, no, it's not.
Okay.
You don't see the male lion taking no lion cubs out doing nothing.
About lions.
Wait. We talking about in every doggone animal species, the woman cares for that animal. No male cares for it.
That's not
so all of a sudden we get to the humans and women don't have to do that. They're not responsible for that. That's madness, babe.
Wait a minute, sweetheart. Those are the popular species, but there are species out there where the male sits and takes care of the penguin.
That penguin just sit there and tell the thing is born and the female takes care of the rest.
It's not just the penguin.
I don't see no male taking care of no offspring. I really don't. Not in nature.
Okay.
I haven't seen it pointed out.
So I believe about the woman, but I think now as humans, I believe nowadays that fathers are feeling unappreciative because, just as you say, it's the woman that does that, but there's a lot of men that have stepped up to do those same things as a woman. And some of them have to do that because that woman that should have been there teaching them
isn't
what they should have known isn't. And so the father has to step up, just like the mothers at times have to be the mother and the father. Sometimes the father has to be that nurturer, has to show the children how to do, how to love, how to be the best person that they could be. In the best
I'm going to tell you from experience. I called my girls here for church. I got them ready. I did all that. I took them to the bed. I took care of all that. I cooked for them. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I know that men, we are all human beings. What did I say? This is about being human. What is being human? Being versatile. Not being stuck on one thing. It's about us understanding that there's a greater power that resides in us that we're not even tapping into. And I hear what she's saying. We go, well, a lot of these men ain't. But when a man is, he getting nothing but resistance. Why? Because he's trying to teach a woman something that she don't have a clue even exists. So when he bring it to her, how's she going to accept it when all she's going to do is battle against it? Why? Because it's unfamiliar. And that's where we lose.
What about vice versa?
The same thing.
What about a woman that tries to bring a man that tries to bring that same situation, like you said, no, you want to be involved when the music is soft and this, that, and the other, because you don't want to hear about what I'm going to tell you. But would you be willing to hear what I have to tell you if you felt like the time wasn't right or you didn't want to hear it? Are you going to be resistant?
What I'm saying is this: when the Spirit is speaking, if it's speaking through your mouth, his mouth, her mouth, or her mouth, we have to be attuned enough to be able to hear. I don't care where it's coming from. It says children can teach us, and she have a niece that sat there and talked with us about our own activity.
9 years old, gave us a counseling session.
A little girl, but she's sharp. Again, she's still connected.
Yeah.
She don't see herself as being separate from who she is. It's when we begin to cause that dichotomy that all the rift come in. So then when somebody is trying to teach something that's foreign that you never heard before, the first reaction is to reject it. Because it's a scripture that always falls true in my mind. It says, my people died, perished for a lack of knowledge. Not that knowledge didn't come, knowledge came. But when it came, they rejected it. So when it's not packaged the way you want, when it don't feel the way you want, when it don't appease you, then it's rejected. Because, I've had plenty of people tell me, man, you're too rough. That's why people can't hear you. The Spirit made me the way I am. And if people going to hear me, they're going to hear the roughness of it. Because if they can't hear the roughness of it, they just can't hear me. And they need to hear somebody else who may be saying something similar to what I'm saying. But if you can't hear me, then that's not my problem. And I'm not going to change that.
And so that's what I always tell him about with, because I have 6 children. I have 2 sets of twins. 4 people born at the same time. Nothing alike. Nothing alike. With my same mindset, in the womb, all of that, totally different people. And, in mothering them, I learned because there was I had a cookie cutter way. Like, this is what I do. But I learned that different ones of them didn't respond the same to the information that I was given. Was the information true? Of course. But how do I get you to digest what I'm saying? And my interest is in all of you. That you get it. So, I could deliver, I could deliver to one and one be, because I'm kind of, and then I would see one crying. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this one? I wasn't trying to be harmful or anything, but I saw that that's not how, for them and for us. And that's what I always try to say to him. And that is the feminine expression over here saying. And I believe that nothing that he says further from that's true. Yes, those who can digest, the way he delivers will do so. And those who are, that information is not digestible won't.
That's why
and
you
so,
sit
and
here.
in that way, that it's true and it's good.
Get it from her.
Yeah.
Just like you delivering it, both of you is saying the same thing from different perspectives. You don't get it from one in your union, get it from you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just kind of like us. He's harsh.
He's not a harsh.
What is your birthday? What sign are you? When is your birthday? January 16th.
That's what
She's a Capricorn as well.
He's harsh. He's straight take it and some people can't. And I think sometimes it may bother him, but that's who he is.
It may bother him that people can't take it?
Yes.
Oh.
Sometimes.
You care. That's the difference between you and him. He don't care.
It depends on who it is.
All right, okay.
It depends on who it is. But
That is a Capricorn trait.
yeah, but he, but when he has an agenda or he has something on his mind, he is very passionate. And when he speaks passionate, it crosses over as
Aggressive.
aggressive.
Like how they talk about sisters.
Kind of condescending.
Right. Yeah.
That's, so.
Right.
But I'm the softer side.
Yeah.
Of
that.
Yes. I'm the softer one.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I might be the one that might get ran over or might change to appease someone, but like I said,
And he's gonna pull your card on it, right? Like, what you doing? Are you changing to appease? Like, what are you doing?
sometimes it's to appease him.
Ah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's to appease him. So my 2023 version of myself is to get in tune with me and love me for just all of me.
Yeah.
Hey, that's all we can
That's
do.
all.
Look, the greatest thing about living this life is the challenge to perfect who we are as human beings. Nobody is seeking the perfection of that expression. They're seeking everything else. But the perfection of that expression is to display the universe as it flows through this earth and through all the rest of the universe. That's what we are. Now, to act as if you're just this physical body with all these balls of feelings and emotions, then we cheat ourselves. Why? Because we hinder ourselves from hearing because of how something is said. When that something is said, may be the thing that saves your very life.
Should we care about how we say things? Should just things be said willy-nilly?
Should we care about anything?
Should we? I'm just saying, if you're we talking about the woman, right? And we talking about, and now we done switched into relationships and hearing each other. So should things be said in a certain way, or should we just with no care and concern?
I feel like it depends.
You know what I mean? Like there is there a certain way to speak to people? Is there not?
What brings on the things that people clash about are always actions that one or the other has performed. So now when we start thinking about our actions and then deciding how to respond to an action, then that's going to say everything about what comes out of our mouth. Because how we respond to that action is how we're feeling, how we're perceiving from the knowledge we have gathered. So, just like she said, a lot of folks say sisters are harsh and mouthy. Yes, a lot of men don't want to be with sisters because of how they address issues. And where did that come from? That comes from the knowledge that was given them, what's being inputted all the time. That's why I'm constantly saying the same thing. You'll hear me say the same thing over and over and over again. Why? Because it got in us through repetition. They over and over and over, every time they show sisters on TV, you see them, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. It's always this this standoff. It's very seldom where a woman will use her softness to change a situation. Why? Because that's not shown. What's shown is how she got to stand up for herself and show, I'm a woman. You ain't going to just tell me what to do. You ain't going to just talk to me like that. But it always boils down to the me, my, and I. And that's the thing that's killing all of us. It's killing men. It's killing women. The me, my, I. We have to overcome that within ourselves, because when we overcome that within ourselves, then we're going to begin to see a more perfect union amongst ourselves. But until then, it's going to be the schism that we see. Why? Because it's been embedded in us. And just like when it comes to men and women relationships, most men, they can't handle how a woman speaks to them. The things that have come out of a woman's mouth that she know cutting him every which way. So his only recourse is to lash out. Not saying that that's good. It's not. It's horrible. But that's because he lacks self-control. And he haven't seen what it is to say, I'm not going to let that affect me internally. But what happens is when somebody says something to you that you care about, that you say you care about, or that you say you love, and they say something that you don't like, first thing we say is that hurt me. What is the me that it hurted though? What is that me that you go, that hurt me? Because who we are, for real, that can't hurt us. It really can't. When we understand we are energy that's conscious, and we take that consciousness and we dissect it into feelings, into emotions, we dissect it into perception, we dissect it, and all it is input. Just like you give a computer input. It only can respond to what you put in it. We only can respond to what's been put in us. And what's been put in us is bullshit lies. So then how are we going to be able to respond to something that's outside of the stimuli that we've been getting all of our life? That is not a possibility. So then the whole crux of the matter is that all of us need to start seeking out change within ourselves. How do you seek that out? By seeking out new knowledge. Don't go to the same knowledge that got you the way you are. We need to be seeking out knowledge that's going to make us what? Different. Where do you get that knowledge? Start seeking it. Because he that seeketh, find it. She that seeketh, find it.
So I like to throw out there's an app called Gaia, Gaia, and there's a series on there called Rewired. And Rewired is I think it's a 13-part series, and I believe they're about 30 minutes each episode. 13 episodes, 30 minutes, so it's not a lot of time to get through. Anyway, Gaia app, Rewired, and the orator or the author is Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he goes through, I think in a very scientific way, but attaching the spiritual to it as well, to help you to walk through ways to rewire, ways that you used to think about things, and to begin to live a different future, because you leave the past in the past. The present and the future can change based on a series of actions. So, Rewired, Dr. Joe Dispenza on the Gaia app.
Gaia.
48.
Gaia.
11:48.
48? Okay. I mean, we can cut it.
Oh, we're going to... hey, you have any questions? You have any comments?
No, I think I said what
But I got that off my chest. Everything y'all needed to know.
I'm this is
Can you
part
read
of my
any of the
journey.
questions they asked?
So somebody
of it to questions and comments.
We don't want to do any healing questions.
no. Somebody said they experienced this with their husband. He came off harsh in her opinion. So is it because that they're feminine and they perceive it as such, or?
No, he could actually be coming off harsh. And then you could actually be perceiving it as harsh. And so then that's where the work begins.
The content
right?
of what he's saying.
Right. So if he's like, what you see is what I see as well. So we do magical passes. And so he's showing me how to do these exercises. And at the same time, I'm a Libra. I'm not real faint. I'm not real fragile. But we'd be in there doing the magical passes, and I could see him being frustrated and teaching me, and I'm like I'm gonna want to keep doing this if you're gonna be acting like this. Like, how are you gonna? And again, that's for me because I've watched other people around him, mainly men, all men, who will listen to what he says and they be like, Asami, But the feminine side of me would like to hear that a little different. Yes, I want, yes, I am trying to learn. I'm here. Let's do this. But can you say that a little? Can you take some of the out of it? And I realized with him that if I say that, then there's more coming. So there's no need to say it. So I just powered through. That's why I was talking about the differences in the 6 babies. You know what I mean? But I understand that's what that is, and so yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm learning. At the end of the day, I can do those magical passes. So does it mean that his way of teaching is ineffective? No, it's just not the way I would like to be taught.
Right.
Taught.
Right.
Hey y'all, well I hope y'all enjoyed this session. Y'all gonna be hearing more from Aja because we're gonna be presenting this thing as a team effort. She's gonna be helping writing this book too because we are, like we say, a universal union of power. So you guys can just use that to your benefit. Couple, single, it don't matter. We're here to help everybody. That's what we do. So while we helping ourselves, because we ain't got this down pat. We working through it. We working through it. Okay. So hey, peace everybody. We love you. Hey baby.
Peace y'all.
Take care of that.
No, just stop it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna stop.
There's no stop. There's no stop. There's no stop. There's no stop.
It was a pleasure having you.